Varsity cross country, track athlete versus gym teacher. So at my high school, there are a number of gym classes you can take, as gym class is a graduation requirement for both the district and the state I live in. One of the options for a gym class is independent gym, where we wear a heart rate monitor and exercise outside of school for a grade. Every week, we're supposed to turn in screenshots of our heart rate data to our teacher, and that counts as most of our grade in the class. Our heart rates have to be above a certain zone for some amount of time to get a higher grade. If it gets into the yellow, red zone, typically 160 plus BPM, we get double minutes. I'm a varsity cross country and track athlete that was named MVP for cross recently. Been scouted by local community and NAIA, NCAA colleges, and the team captain for both sports at my school. I also have been tested and diagnosed with sinus bradycardia, a heart condition where resting heart rate is lower than it should be, which is common and harmless for the more elite distance athletes, which can make it hard for me to reach my heart rate goals sometimes. This was a bigger deal during the off-season. My gym teacher knows both of these things and has for the past couple of years. I have practice every day of the week and I record everything on my watch. So it seems like I would have the physical activity part all wrapped up nicely, right? Well, the other week, practice was much shorter due to the winter weather and also just our practices not being super long. And I turned in what I recorded on my watch, which would have been enough to easily get 100%. To my surprise, my teacher gave me a 1 out of 4 because stupid American grading scale, which made me super mad. As a result, it temporarily lowered my grade average in gym by about a whole letter grade, which is not good for scholarship applications and could threaten my eligibility for track if I start failing. So as a protest, the past 2 weeks when I've had to submit my heart rate data, I've taken a screenshot of each workout individually from each day. For context, I like to record my warm-up, workout, and cool down as individual activities, so each day can log at least 3 different activities. I take the screenshots on my desktop and the data I actually need is just far enough off the page that I have to zoom out so that I can get the date, which is needed, as well as the heart rate data without cropping the two together, which looks fishy. Over the course of the week, this adds up to around 10-20 screenshots that I submit and likely equates to around a 300% on the rubric. My teacher hasn't said anything yet, but I can definitely tell they're pissed at seeing 20 different, extremely small screenshots every week, and probably stop looking after the 5th one. I've been doing this the past 2 weeks and I've gotten full credit each time. TLDR. Varsity cross country and track athlete beats gym teacher's heart rate minute requirements by individually submitting every workout they do over the course of the week all at once. If it's a result of a medical condition, talk to your counselor. An exception can likely be made. Otherwise, get a 504. Ask your doctor and guidance counselor how to do it with your parents. The PE teacher might have to modify their rubrics for your situation. You're doing the work. You should get the credit. You're lucky they let you count practice. Both of my sons ran in high school. Both were varsity athletes. Nobody at the school is allowed to use their extracurricular sport as a replacement for actually taking a gym class. Kind of ridiculous that kids running sub 5 o'clock miles from freshman year had to take 2 different gym classes each in order to promote physical fitness. And don't even get me started on the health class where they were both marked down during the section on BMI for having a BMI that was too low. At 6 feet 2 inches, 130 pounds, their BMI was somewhere around 17 and teacher insisted they were malnourished. She should have seen my food budget. I'm very curious how they're supposed to gauge whether a heart rate was high enough. Typically, a person with better endurance will have a larger heart, and thereby a lower heart rate. I really don't understand how using heart rate as a target would ever be a good idea. Reminds me of Goodhart's law. When a measure becomes a target, it ceases to be a good measure. You could theoretically start by establishing a base benchmark, but then the goal would become to benchmark as low a heart rate as possible. And students that perform their worst would then have a better chance. I understand collecting heart rate data to analyze progress, but to use it as a target sounds entirely ridiculous. At this point, I would fully expect students to intake certain things to artificially raise their heart rate. My kids had to do that, PE online, as well. There were few things that got my daughter's heart rate up enough for them. One was rollerblading in the loop streets around our house. Very hilly, until she had to jump out of the way of some screaming around the corner. Never even stopped, and broke her arm. Then it was inside with the PlayStation Dance Revolution did the job. So your teacher likes meth heads? Do you get 5x the points if you go over the red line and die? What a stupid system. At my high school, a student almost failed gym because she missed class due to being across the country training for the Olympic mountain biking team. Ooh, that would have been awesome for me. I have inappropriate sinus tachycardia, and if I jog a 11-minute mile my pulse rate is about 185. As a middle-aged guy, in my teens and 20s I could easily get over 200 on an elliptical. It's certainly not great for track scholarships or escaping from bears. I don't know of a numeric grading system in the United States. I hate to be the one to say this, but if you send an outraged parent in to raise hell with the principal, that will be the end of your troubles. I was a teacher for 16 years. And let me tell you, the minute a parent showed up at the principal's office fuming mad about a teacher endangering their child's health and scholarship eligibility, that was it. And athletes like you tend to get good treatment. Why do you run varsity track and have to take gym as well? Does that not count as gym? Out of curiosity, what's your resting? I've been getting alerts from my Apple Watch recently with heart rates in mid-upper 30s. 3,537 at night and early morning. Been deciding if it's worth going to doctor to see if I have bradycardia. Interestingly, when I work out I easily get into 140,155 range. This is why my sister hates Orange Theory. Growing up in Texas, I'm remembering how weird it is to have varsity sports as an actual class. Many people I knew didn't take gym and they'd actually try out for a varsity sport because if they didn't make the team, most coaches would just let you chill for the rest of the period. It's clear you weren't actually exercising with your MVP status and college recruitment. Woman facepalming light skin tone. I swear bureaucracy is so dumb. BTW I can't spell. I would look into the 504 plan someone else mentioned.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epicaricast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.